doing astrology since I was 14. I have a certification program called Life Path Astrology Reader, where I help people not only understand their life path and their soul's work, but they also go on to pay it forward and teach people, show people what their life purpose is based on their astrological birth chart. I've been a business coach for over a decade, and my mission is really just to raise the vibration of the planet with my beautiful soul family by my side.
And I can attest to the magicalness of the Life Path Astrology certification because I'm currently a student and I'm in the process of certification. So if anybody has questions, you still have some spots for your certification program right now, right?
Yep.
So if anyone watching this goes, I want some astrology jam in my life, let me know, let us know. I'll be happy to support you and get you to Angel and her program because it's amazing, y'all.
Thank you, honey.
So Angel, the question that everyone gets is, how do you define love?
So love is a frequency.
Yes.
And it is something that helps to guide my every move. And I know when I'm out of frequency, when things feel like a struggle, I feel like when you're in a zone of love, when you're in the frequency of love, it feels light. It feels effortless. It feels beautiful. Sometimes it's something as simple as just like rearranging my furniture, and I get this rush. I get this rush of just excitement because I can feel the energy shift. It's like when you clean out your closet, your energy shifts. Like if I rearrange my furniture, I clean all the dust bunnies underneath my furniture, I get a rush. So it's an energy that gives you a rush.
Oh, I love that. Every guest is described in a different way. And so we've definitely gotten the frequency piece before. And we've gotten the something that's fifth dimensional coming down into the physical form. But one of the things that I'm presencing based on your responses, it's like it's not just it's not stagnant. It is something that moves through. It moves through you and probably brings you a sense of being alive and not just being. There's a sense of aliveness that comes through that rush. So I love that.
And thank you for saying that, because I had this conversation with a friend and I was talking about a person that I was dating at the time. And they're like, what was so different about this gentleman? And I said, the only way I can describe it is that he activated me.
Oh, yes.
And I don't really feel that very often. I might feel a friendship or a companionship or, we have a lot in common. But when I feel activated, that is very unusual. And it can be, like I said, you can still be in your own space and be activated because of the energy changes in your environment. But also with romantic relationships, if somebody activates me, I'm like, whoa, wait, what's that? I want that.
Yes, which is the perfect segue to our topic today. And I am so excited because so for those of you who don't know, I'm doing the certification and I'm doing these readings. And the purpose of the Life Path Astrology is to kind of help a person guide them through what their soul's purpose is. And everyone wants to know when their next boyfriend or girlfriend is coming through. And I'm like, that's not my specialty. I want to help you ascend. I want you to help the universe at large. If you're doing that, the right person will come. But I feel like this is such a great way for those of you who are watching and specifically looking for this message to say, okay, how do we do this? What does this mean? So first of all, my personal curiosity is, I hear so many phrases. There's soulmate, there's twin flames, there blah, blah, blah. Tell us more about twin flames and how does it differentiate how do we distinguish it between some of the other phrases that we hear about love connection?
Okay, so the twin flame, I think it activates your soul work. Okay, so that'd be different than, say, a soulmate who activates you and maybe your kundalini or just gets you excited. So I feel like the twin flame relationship activates a divine mission within you. And if you follow it, not necessarily for the romantic piece, but you follow the energy, it's actually going to open up these doors and activate a divine purpose within you.
Wow. Okay. So what else? So if someone's looking, so that was a twin flame. The twin flame is activating that divine purpose. Mm-hmm. So if someone is looking so I have a whole bunch of people who have been doing these readings for, I feel like we're in an age where a lot of people are just too afraid to commit. There's so much
Mm.
more, there's more acceptance to being single, but there's still a yearning for companionship. And so when looking for a twin flame, how do we know how to find that? Like, how do we know to identify
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty big conversation. But for me, I don't even know that I knew right when I met the person. It wasn't like, oh my God, this is my twin flame. Some people might have that, but at that time, I don't think I was on a deep enough spiritual journey to actually be able to confirm that that was true. It was more along the lines of like, why does this person keep showing up in my life? And why does this person on some level make me want to be a better person or be more aligned with who I am? So I feel like they were activating me, but not necessarily from like a romantic place. It was, even though it was romantic, but it was activating my purpose more than it was activating like a romantic connection. Even though
them?
I wanted that, you know, I think there's phases of the twin flame journey, but in the beginning, it felt like, of course, like what, I'm attracted to this person, like all this stuff. I felt like it was romantic, but when I really went on the journey, I realized it's not really romantic. It was really about me getting to a place in my journey that I would actually follow my own divine path,
Ah, I love
with or
that.
without them, you know?
Right. And there's probably like a deeper yearning of like, I really want this to stay, but I also know that it's time to go. And just to let you know, I want everyone to remember that this is an opportunity for conversation. So if you have questions about twin flames, let me know. I'm looking at the comments, and we have a funny comment I thought you should hear, Angel. Someone says, confession, I had to turn off an Angel Quintana video to watch this Angel Quintana video. So people are watching and all the platforms for you. So if you have questions, let us know. Okay. So what I'm hearing is the twin flame attracts us to this romantic activation and really leads us to a soul purpose activation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So if you find that someone is activating you and you get to a point where you're still yearning for that to be a romantic relationship and you're kind of like obsessing about it, you might be obsessing about the wrong thing. You should maybe take it to the next level and be like, well, you know, why would I still obsess about something that I know is something that's part of me? Because a twin flame is actually, if you really look at the concept, it's this splitting of these souls, the divine masculine and divine feminine. So even if you're not in what they call union with your twin, they're always with you. They're always
Wow.
with you. So it's like having a romantic relationship on another dimension maybe, or another realm, but it's really to guide you and help you to be in your purpose. So if it's actually a very big role. So if you and I have this conversation in a class I taught on Tuesday, that you'll know that you'll know that you are a twin flame if one, you have always craved romantic relationships in your life, but not in a level of like, I'm scared to be alone, in the sense that like there's something, I don't want to use the word incomplete, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
part of you that's always longed for that deep, profound connection, but you would never settle. That to
Right.
me is a sign that you are a twin flame. Whether you have met your twin flame or know who your twin flame is, it's a sign.
I love that. And yeah, and I love that distinction between incompletion and longing, because you can always have that heart feeling that wants more, but you still feel whole, rather than like when you feel not whole, that something probably more missing in you rather than the other person completing you. So we do have two questions that have come up. So the
Okay.
first one is, how do you set your intention of the relationship you want and not be attached to
In regards to twin flame or just
it?
in general?
I would say, since the conversation's twin flames, probably twins flames.
Okay. Ask me the question one more time.
So how do you, I think it was, how do you set the intention for finding that relationship and without being super attached to it?
I mean, I didn't set out to find a twin flame. Mine was very serendipitous. It was almost like a magical meeting. So I don't know that you can set the intent. I mean, I guess you could, because you can
Mm,
manifest anything in your life. But I feel like that person, it could even be someone that you already know, but I feel like that person would likely show up in a very unexpected way without you trying to do anything.
okay. So there's nothing, there's almost, what I'm hearing is you can't do anything for running into your twin flame. And especially what you said before, they're a part of you. So they're always going to be here, whether in the physical realm or the 3D, 5D realm. There's gonna be a connection, and what I'm hearing is, if you're aligned when they show up, you'll recognize it and you'll allow yourself to go through the process of being in that experience.
Yeah. And it could be someone that's already crossed over. I mean, there's people that are twins that, maybe their person already crossed over. And so, if you start setting intention that I want to meet them, but maybe they've already crossed over, they're still with you. They're still helping you on your journey. So I think there's that to have in consideration as well.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And then the other question is that anything, so twin flames, is that anything related to karmic relationships / lessons?
So I think that every relationship you have is karmic, whether it's a soulmate, if it's a twin flame, whatever. I think that any relationship that has any kind of significance is a karmic relationship. A soulmate a twin flame is a soulmate, but a soulmate is not a twin flame. All relationships are karmic.
All relationships are karmic. I love that. And we have a Kareen saying, I agree with her. I was working for Moose over a year before we clicked. So she was working with someone right in front of her face, and it took a year for that aha moment. So you like you said, that twin flame, that person that's supposed to either be with you in whatever way or teach you that lesson, could be there, and it's not until the
I think a
lesson is very
soulmate
helpful.
is more like, oh my gosh, we met, we got activated. I think that's a soulmate. I think a twin flame, there's a lot of gray there. It might not be instant, but it might grow over time. Mine was definitely like, I didn't know it was a twin flame until many, many, many years later.
Huh. So
I didn't even know the concept.
so I'm curious, is there ever a point, so this is a question I'm coming with, is there ever a point where a soulmate and a twin flame can overlap and be both?
I think a twin flame is a soulmate, because
Okay,
you can
got
have multiple soulmates, but only one twin flame.
got it. Wow, I love this. So I'm not seeing any more questions. A lot of people are saying, wow, someone's saying that they live for your memes on Instagram. So a little bit of feedback for you. So we have a couple more minutes. So if you guys have questions and you're loving this, like, let us know, and let us know what questions you have. So I think kind of like what I'm hearing as a wrap up is you, like, twin flames exist on every level, on every dimension. They're with you even if they're here in the physical realm or not. And the biggest takeaway is, like, learn, what I'm almost hearing, Angel, is like, learn to enjoy the fact that every relationship is a lesson, and not get attached to what it's going to mean. Like, I used to be like a huge Gabby Bernstein fan. And I remember the beginning, she would talk about future tripping. Like, let's get over the future tripping. Don't worry about what's going to come like a year, 2, 3, 5 years and that from now. Like, be in the moment with that person, with that activation that they're creating for you, so that you can really lean into that activation, almost, is what I'm hearing.
You know what's funny is I feel, and I've run my twin flames chart before, their astrological birth chart, and I'm like, this person is not compatible for me, But I feel like I've taught classes on how to manifest a soulmate with astrology, so I actually know from like an astrological standpoint who would be a good soulmate match for me. Like, I know what my definition of love is. I know how I want to feel. I know how I want to be treated, like all of those things. And I gotta say, my twin flames chart, I don't think that would be a first choice for me from an astrology standpoint, because I have Venus in Scorpio. So if you don't have a moon or a Venus planet in a water sign, I don't think you're going to be a match for me.
Okay, interesting.
It's too deep. I need something so deep. So if you've got, your moon in Leo and Libra, Venus, I'm like, oh no, it's going to be too hard. There's going to be, so that would be a challenge. So like your twin will always bring up challenging aspects, because it's really there to help you in your ascension.
Oh, got it. So good. So we did get a question. What if your twin flame doesn't seem connected to a greater purpose for themselves, but totally sees yours?
So I found, this is kind of, I think I actually talked about it in my class on Tuesday, at least a little bit, that when you do your own work, like when you do your own spiritual work, because if you guys are true twin flames, energetically, they will feel it. They might not be at the same part of their ascension journey, but the more work that you do on yourself, it automatically, even if it's on their dream state, something is already activated in them that eventually, whether they decide to open all the doors, but something is happening inside of them. And for my twin, his business started to fail because that was his way of really staying like very earthbound, like need to make money, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden his like business went south. I was like, oh shit, did I do that? I mean, I don't know for sure, but this is what I mean. Like they're gonna feel it in a completely different way, but it will show up in their life in some regard.
Oh my gosh, I really appreciated that, because I think one of the things I'm hearing is the idea of also, even if we attract our twin flame, we still have free will because our reptilian brain is on the 3D. And even though we're all connected in the fifth dimension, they might say, like, okay, I feel it. I don't know what to do with it. And like, we still get to walk this path no matter if they're catching up or not.
Exactly. And that's not our job. You know, in fact, I'm just every day so grateful for my twin that I'm just like, I don't think I could have the business that I have today without going on this twin flame journey. Whether he's on the journey or not, whatever he's doing, that's up to him. But I cannot thank him enough on an energetic level. I would not have the life, the business, the house, the home, the anything that I have today without that relationship. I mean, it's a
Girl,
pretty big thing.
Girl, I feel this. I think I had an experience like this recently. I'm like, they're not there, but I'm like, you know what? I learned so much and I feel so grateful that I had them show up when they showed up so that I can really move forward, like you said, in my business, in my health. And even though they're not here anymore, it's like, whoo, thank God for that. Like, whoo, that was what I needed at that moment. So thank you for that
It's
lesson.
profound. You're
Yes.
welcome.
So one more question, and there are a
Yep.
lot of people saying thank you for the answer, Angel Queen. And someone said, yes, my twin can't work because of the quarantine. And someone wants to know about pairings. Like someone wants to know if a Taurus and a Virgo would work together.
Well, they're both earth signs, but I would go deeper. I wouldn't look at the sun sign. That's a superficial version of somebody's personality. I would look at their moon and I would look at their Venus. And then I'd look at your moon and your Venus and see if those two signs together match with theirs. Because moon represents your emotions and Venus is how you love and what you love.
So Jeanette, you have some homework. And Diana, who asked the questions about the one you just answered, said, I wouldn't have my business without my twin, and gratitude all day. So I think we're getting time to wrap this up. If anyone has any other questions, let us know quickly. Angel, this has been so first of all, thank you for bringing in relationships into 15 minutes of love, because we get to talk about it. One of I think I sourced that as an experience because for so long I didn't allow myself to talk about relationships. Like I'd get readings, I'd get tarot card like, and people like, what's your intention? I'd be like, talk about my career, talk about this, and I'd never allow relationships. Like I didn't prioritize that. And so I think it's even showing up here where I'm like, I know we want to talk about it, I know I want to talk about it, and here we are 5 weeks in, and if we finally sourced it. So thank you for this. Everyone's saying thank you. This has been amazing. How can everyone find you?
Holisticfashionista.com.
Excellent. And I'll make sure, so I'm going to be putting this up on YouTube as well. So if you have, it'll be here for replay. It'll be up in YouTube in replay.
Okay,
so if anyone's wanting to check this out, if you want to share this, anyone who's watching, you get to share this in all the ways. And I'll make sure Angel's information's in the thread so you can share away. Angel, you're amazing.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day. And until next time, remember, only love is real. Bye, guys.
Yay.